What's poppin', y'all? I know I had a couple of technical difficulties there, but we good. We here. We rocking. We rolling. I wanted to show that little Larry Johnson clip because my boy Mark Jackson. I don't know. Mark Jackson kind of hit me with a little bit of blasphemy. You know what I'm saying? He hit me with a little bit of blasphemy earlier in the broadcast of the Boston and Cleveland game. You know what I mean? Kind of told me that he said, what did he say? Said it was a phantom foul on Larry Johnson. That's what he told Jeff Van Gundy. You know, so I just need to play that in ode to my man Larry Johnson. Ode to my man Larry Johnson. Big up to Larry Johnson. Big playoff moment for the New York Knicks back then. 2000, what was that? 2000 Eastern Conference Finals. Then we advanced to the finals with a team that we weren't really supposed to advance to the finals with. That's what was. We're going to get that feeling back. I'm going to keep rolling these playoff clips, man, for the New York Knicks as we continue to move on throughout the NBA Finals. But I was disappointed. I didn't expect Boston to win the game. I knew LeBron was going to be too much. I just knew he was going to be too much. Celtics too young at this point. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. That's cool. They're just too young at this point. They don't have the experience. They don't have I don't know. You know, they don't have the experience. They don't have the strength, the mental fortitude yet. But it's there. It's not that they won't get it. They'll get it. I believe they'll get it. You know, they got a young stud in Jason Tatum, man. Young stud. The kid is going to be great. You know, Jason Tatum is man. The kid is going to be something crazy. You know, and who was my man? I think it was BN. He said that Jason Tatum couldn't create his own shot. That was a ridiculous notion by BN. BN, if you hear, man, talk to me. Talk to me. Really, what makes you say that? Because obviously the kid can create his own shot. You know what I'm saying? Jason Tatum is going to be something special. Danny Ainge and the Boston Celtics, they made a great move trading down from 1 to 3 because obviously they knew that they wanted to get Jason Tatum. You know, and Jason Tatum is he's going to be a special kind of dude. Special kind of dude. You know, you say Tatum gives you a Paul Pierce vibe. Yeah, but I think he's I think he's more athletic than Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce was never the athletic type, right? Paul Pierce is, you know, he couldn't rise up the way you seen Jason Tatum rise up and dunk on LeBron. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's crazy. You know, Jason Tatum is the kid got something going on. You know what I mean? He definitely got something going on, and he's going to be one to watch for the ages. You know, I'm jealous. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm super jealous, man. I am super jealous of the Boston Celtics. They are where I wish the Knicks were. They have a player that I wish the Knicks had, and I'm not hating on KP with that, guys. So please don't do it with me. I'm not hating on KP with it. I'm just saying I wish we had him. He would fit perfectly next to KP, without a doubt. Look at my man here. Let's check him out. Boom. Off the dribble. Not afraid to bump LeBron a little bit. Let him know what's popping. Let him know what's going on. I like that. The kid wasn't scared. Emmanuel, I apologize, man. You You know what? I've been getting so many tweets lately. I got put on this string of tweets, and talking to Emmanuel, I got put on this string of tweets, and I can't even find certain things, man, because I don't know. Is this these people they've been having this large conversation? You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting notifications all day long because they keep talking in this thread, and I can't find anything that I want to find. You know, when I'm going back and looking at my mentions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, Emmanuel, but yeah, Emmanuel, I'm still gonna find it and bring it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna find. I'm gonna look back and find it. I'm gonna bring it up. I don't even know if BN is in here right now, but you know that Jason Tatum dunk was tough. It may have hurt the Celtics. You never know, because the man got LeBron a little bit angry that Jason Tatum came down and put it on his neck. You know what I'm saying? Might have. I don't know. But it was a heck of a series by the Boston Celtics. Heck of a series. You got to take your hats off to them because they played without their stars. They played without, they played without Kyrie. They played without Gordon Hayward. Brad Stevens coached them. I mean, man, just imagine what they're going to be when those guys get back. And, you know, this game right here, I think it proves that they still do need at least one of those two guys. So if we were talking about trades, if we were talking about them possibly trading Kyrie, I don't think it happens. Although Kyrie is injury prone, I don't think it happens. I think that the way that this series ended up going down and happening is proof that they needed Kyrie, right? And they need Hayward too, because Jaylen Brown wasn't doing his thing out there. And if you have someone like Hayward who could step in, you know, the deeper you are, the better it's going to be. You know, the deeper you are, the better it's going to be. So they're still going to need those two guys. Maybe those two guys aren't there for the long term. You know what I'm saying? But if they plan on getting to the finals next year, I think they're going to need them. Alex Martinez, he said, thanks for the show. Appreciate it. No doubt. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Love to talk Knicks. It's not going to be a really long show tonight because not a whole lot happened. We're going to touch on a few things, and then, we'll be back on in a couple of days. But thank you for the super chat, Alex. And you say Frank is younger than most of the picks in this draft. Very true. He has put on some weight already, and he's going to be special. Yes, definitely, man. He's put on some weight, and I haven't seen a whole bunch of what he's doing training-wise. Just some pictures. I'm sure you guys have seen the same pictures. You know, but we're going to put them up and talk about it a little bit anyway. All right, Robert Paris, thanks for the super chat. You say, Ainge will trade, but don't try to guess. You know, you're probably right about that. You're probably right about that. He probably will make some kind of a trade. I don't know. I mean, I think tonight it showed that they needed, they did need those two guys. Or at least Kyrie. Let me say that, at least Kyrie. Rozier wasn't hitting, and if you have Kyrie there, you know, that probably changes the game a little bit. You know, because Kyrie would have been able to create, get into the lane, do some things when Terry Rozier's not here, you know, or, you know, vice versa, obviously. You know what I mean? And mates, you said, am I going to go live during the draft? Probably so. I'm actually looking to be at the draft. I'm securing that up now to see, you know, I'm either going to be there in the stands or hopefully I'll get a press pass. I signed up for I requested a press pass. We'll see if I get a press pass. It's not easy. It's not always easy to get a press pass when you're not one of the major networks or something like that. It's not always easy. You know, but we'll see. I won't find out until about a week before. But even if I don't get a press pass, I'll probably be there. So, you know, I'll probably, you know, jump on a little bit while I'm there, and I'll figure out how I'm gonna do the show while I'm there. I don't know what the NBA. We'll see. We'll see what's up. But either way, I will be doing the show during the draft. And but it may not be your typical show of me sitting down here. I may be actually at the draft. All right. We're about a month away. Things are steaming up. I can't wait for the Knicks to do some more workouts. Obviously, it's Memorial Day weekend. It's kind of quiet on the New York Knicks front. Focus really is on the NBA Finals. These two heavyweight mat game 7s. Spotlight, though, was a little bit too much for the Boston Celtics, I think. When I thought it was important in that third quarter, I thought that it was very important that the Celtics come out of there with the lead. They gave up the lead in the third quarter. I thought it would be important that they come out of the third quarter with the lead. Just to keep the mentality that we're in control. And when they didn't come out of it with the lead, I felt like they lost control. Not control of the game because it remained a close game, but I thought mentally they lost the comfort of being ahead. And now the pressure was on them to get back ahead. And the pressure was released from LeBron a little bit. Once you give a lead to LeBron in that kind of a situation, it's going to be hard for you to overcome it, in my opinion. Especially when you didn't really have anyone that can guard LeBron. Now, I am not a LeBron fan at all. I'm not. I'm not a LeBron fan at all. But I got to give credit where credit is due. The dude is unstoppable out there. You know what I'm saying? He definitely is. He's unstoppable. He's an unstoppable force out there. But he's not my dude. He's not my guy. He's not my guy. That's what it is. Sorry, LeBron. You're just not. I'll give you credit when it's due, but you're not my guy. You know what I mean? Somebody just asked, who am I high on? Who is my number one guy to draft right now? I don't even know. I look at a guy like Jason Tatum, and I want a guy like that at our 3 spot. I want a guy like that. At that 3 spot, Jason Tatum, he's athletic when he needs to be athletic. He's under control when he needs to be under control. He can create a shot when he needs to create a shot. That's the kind of guy that I like. He can play within the offense. Once he gets a little bit bigger, he's going to be able to post up a little bit. And he'll be able to score from all points on the floor. And he's in a culture where they play defense, so he's learning to play defense. He's going to be really, really good for a very, very, very long time. And to do what he's been doing in the playoffs, at 19 years old, got to give it up to Jason Tatum. So I'm hoping we get a guy in his mold, right? Mikal Bridges seems like he can be in his mold. I agree. I'm not sure if he can create as much off the dribble like Jason Tatum can. But as far as understanding the game of basketball, taking the right shots, moving the ball to the right people, playing defense, moving without the ball, yes, I think he's in that mold. Will he be as good as Jason Tatum? I don't know. We don't know yet. But he looks like he could be that same type of player. He could be that same type of player. Because Jason Tatum is very poised. Very, very poised. Mikal is the safest pick available. I agree with you there, MH. I think Mikal is definitely the safest pick. Is he the pick with the highest ceiling? I don't know. It's hard to say. But I would say he's definitely the safest guy. See, some people say we take a risk. Some people say we don't take a risk. It's tough. It's a tough one right there, because Mikal is not a risk probably, but are you going to maximize your potential with Mikal? Maybe, maybe not. You might maximize your potential with Miles or Kevin Knox. Some of those guys might be who you actually maximize your potential with. And so that really comes down to scouting, looking at guys' features, characteristics. How are they long? Do they have a shot that doesn't need to be fixed? Do they understand the nuances of the game? Those type of things. Even if a guy is underdeveloped right now, if they can understand, if you see that a guy understands the little nuances of the game, if you see that a guy understands to make the extra pass, maybe he doesn't always get the extra pass there because, he doesn't have, maybe there's a certain fundamental he needs to grasp, but he understands to make that pass. He understands the right cut. He understands to go back door when they overplay. He understands those little type of nuances. Then you might say, you know what, this is a guy that understands the game. And once he gets a little stronger, he grows and he develops, then he's going to be able to do a lot of things on the court. Kind of like Frank. And a lot of people ask, why are we excited about Frank? And those things that I just said are the reasons why we're excited about Frank. One, we understand that he's 19 years old and he's got a lot of time to grow. He's very young. He's second youngest guy in the league last year. But when you see the little things that Frank does, it excites you because once he develops and he grows into his body and he can actually get those things off, then he can be very, very effective. He makes the right pass. He knows who to pass to off of a screen and roll. He knows how to hit guys in stride. He knows how to hit guys in his sweet spot so that they don't need to reset to get a shot off. They can catch the ball and shoot. Those type of things, right? And when you see those little type of things, you have a lot of hope for a guy. Whether or not they're always successful, they have the right idea in mind. And that's what, when people ask, well, why do you guys think Frank is going to be this or that or whatever it is? That's how you can answer that question, because he knows and understands those small nuances that a lot of rookies don't understand. And a lot of people don't understand when they watch a player play. But Frank has those he understands those small nuances, and he tried last year. He tried to make it happen. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but you can see that he understood the game, and that is what makes him such a prospect. And so when you look at players that are coming into the league and you're scouting and you're trying to decide who you're going to draft, those are some of the little things that you're going to want to look at. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to look at those type of things. Do they, you can be super talented all day long. All day long, you can be super, super talented. You can have all the athletic ability in the world. But if you don't understand how to capitalize on those small nuances of the game, you probably won't reach your potential. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? D-Ray. Exactly. Frank has all the unteachables. All the things that you struggle to teach players, Frank has it already. You don't even really have to teach it. He has it naturally. Some of the things you have to teach him is aggression on the floor. And I think he has it in with it. And there's one area where some people are afraid, right? Because, with players, if a player is overly excited and aggressive, it's easier to teach a player that's overly excited and aggressive to calm down than to teach a player that's not excited and aggressive to become aggressive. But Frank's aggressiveness is a little bit different, I think, right? Frank's aggressiveness is not that he doesn't play an aggressive style of defense or he doesn't play with emotion. His aggressiveness really has to do with his mindset of when to decide to be aggressive going to the basket. That's a little bit different than just being an emotional guy. So yes, he has the unteachables. Like my man just said, the unteachables. That's a great word to use. He has those things. And that's what I think we need to look for while we're drafting. You know what I mean? Guys that have those unteachables, things that you struggle to teach players. You know what I'm saying? Things that you struggle to show players how to do, and they just can't grasp it. You teach a player, you run drills to teach a player to go back door when somebody overplays, and they still run towards the ball or pop out higher instead of going back door. Right? Even though you've been teaching it and drilling it, they do the same thing over and over. They just don't grasp the concept. And because they don't grasp the concept, that player can never reach their full potential, even though they have all the athletic ability in the world. There are tons of players like that come into the NBA. And they come into the NBA because they have this talent, and then they leave because they can't grasp those little concepts. So I think when we're looking at players that we want to scout, we want to look at players that, of course, have talent and athletic ability, but then you want to see if those players understand those nuances of the game. Part of it is basketball IQ, but also part of it is just understanding those concepts. You know what I mean? So while we're looking at Mikal Bridges, Miles Bridges, Kevin Knox, Wendell Carter Jr., which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Looking at those guys are talented, but then you want to say, do those guys have those small intangible things that'll take them to the next level? And I think that's important. That's important for us to look at. Biggest shout out to Siobhan Robinson for the super chat. You say Knox is too raw and will be a project. Wouldn't mind him, but if Knicks fans don't have patience with Frank, then they wouldn't have it with Knox. And you know what? You're probably right, Siobhan. Hopefully right now we take a different mindset because we know KP is hurt. Playoffs might be a reach for next season. You never know what could happen, but it's probably going to be a reach for next season. So maybe fans are willing to say, okay, we get a young guy that needs a couple of years to develop, and let's develop him. Maybe. Monty Knicks, thank you for the super chat. You say, I'm never betting against French Unicorn anymore. Shout out to him and the chat. I love y'all. Talking about you guys out here in the chat. He said, LeBron going 3-6 anyways. I'm surprised they won. I hope you get that press pass. I hope I get the press pass too, man. I take you guys backstage with me. That'd be lovely. That'd be real cool. Melrod, you're right. You say KP was supposed to be a project too. Yep, he was supposed to be a project. But then obviously he came in and surprised people in his first year. And I mean, it could happen the same way with some other players, but I don't think you can count on that happening. You know what I mean? You can't count on it. So I guess it's going to go into the mindset of Scott Perry and Steve Mills and where they're looking at building. You know what I mean? We know they want young, high energy guys who's going to play defense, get up and down the floor, those type of things. But with Fizdale in the fold, is he thinking, we might have a shot at the playoffs? Is he thinking that? Or is he thinking more like, we got this year, let KP nurse his injury, develop some of these young guys, and then when KP really gets back fully healthy, not next year, but the year after, we really hit the ground and try to get into the playoffs. I don't know. And even still, if you teach the right principles defensively and offensively, then playoffs could maybe be a possibility anyway. I think for any team, if you're running, if you are playing with the right type of principles, then you might have a shot. Any team, I think. Doesn't mean you'll get there, but you might have a shot. But I still think you look for a player that does understand those nuances of the game. Even if you're looking for a player that has the most talent and the most athletic ability, I think you still need to look at those small nuances, because those nuances, if you want to play a certain style of basketball, those nuances are going to be the difference maker. The small things. You hear coaches say it all the time, the small things. Those small things are the difference maker. When you have two guys that have equal talent, it's the small things that separate them. Small things that separate guys from being great and guys from not being as great. Do guys get low in their stance? You can have two guys that have a similar motor, both play defense. One might be the better defender because he understands how to get low in his stance. He understands how to slide his feet, have his hands in the passing lanes, doesn't reach. Because when you reach, your feet stop moving. Doesn't reach, moves his feet, understands help side defense, understands helping the helper, understands all those type of things. That person ends up being a better defender, although the person next to him had the same exact abilities. Understand those concepts are important. So I think we've got to look towards guys that understand those concepts of the basketball game. So, give me a call if you're here. Give me a call. Get my headphones ready. Like I said, I'm not going to be on crazy late tonight because I got some things going on I got to take care of here. But that's cool. I wanted to jump on with you guys. In the meanwhile, while I'm waiting for some calls to come in, we see guys are starting to work out. Right? We're starting to finally, guys are finally starting to get back home and get in the gym and start getting it together. And I'm always glad to see it. Always. I love when I see guys work out and get better. I just hope that without Fizdale, the Knicks were able to... Ronald Cleveland, my bad. I'm going to get you. Call me back. I just hope that without Fizdale there, the Knicks were able to get guys on a good workout plan for the summer. You know what I'm saying? And we're able to give them a developmental plan that's going to work for them. And guys are working on their developmental plans. Because that summer is when you get better. That's when you make it happen. Ron Cleveland, what's popping, bro?
Man, Sim, you can hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, man. Hey, what's good? What's up to the chat?
It's looking good, man.
Man, I'm listening to everything you talking about, man. That Boston game tonight. You're right. It really showed a lot of immaturity as a team, as a young team.
Yep.
I watched that team take ill-advised 3-point shots when it wasn't needed. You're at home. You don't need to go for the killer shot.
Right.
Pressure is on the other team, especially when they weren't playing good as a team. And really that Kevin Love injury is what really Cleveland can be thankful for, because Jeff Green really won that game tonight, man. LeBron gonna do his thing. The rest of them boys was playing like trash.
Yeah.
Except for Jeff Green.
Right.
Jeff Green really killing boys, man. And just looking at our Knicks game plan, I hear all these people. I'm reading this stuff in the chat, man, where they're talking about Frank. I mean, when you don't know basketball, I expect some of the stuff that I'm seeing written. You know what I mean? You can't teach defense. That's a want-to. Frank already playing at an elite level on the defensive end. The kid bulked up. The kid wants to get better. He's gonna get better. And when I hear Perry talking about in the talent acquisition phase, he gonna get the best player available. I mean, he basically telling you they're gonna get a wing player. That's his way of saying it's gonna be a wing player without without giving his hand. You know what I mean? It's all about poker at this phase.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? They're not going to say who they're going to get, but we definitely going to get a wing player. You can mark that. You can take that to the bank. They're not going to get another point guard. You can forget that, because you think about it, Sim. You know the game of basketball. You got to affect the game in 3 different areas. You got to have somebody up top that can disrupt. We got Frank there. On the wing, you need somebody who can disrupt. We don't have a starting small forward that can affect the game in that area. And down low, KP can affect that area. So when he comes back. So really this year is all about building. For me, that's all I want to see them building. If we make the playoff, that's gravy. But we need to just keep building and going with the mindset. We got the right coach. I'm convinced of that. I'm totally convinced. I'm all in on Fizz. I'm all in on Fizz. And either one of those Bridges kids, man, I like them, but I really, really like Wendell Carter, man. And I say that because I watched the ACC. I'm a Tar Heel fan, man. And I watched the ACC, and everybody was talking about Bagley. But to me, Wendell Carter is the one with the more upside, man. He's the one with the more upside, and I think he's going to be a better pro than Bagley. I just see Bagley. I said it a few shows in the past. I see Bagley being like a Dwight Howard type player, man. I don't see him being a player that's going to progress much more from what he is right now. And what we really need to be talking about is who we're going to steal in that second round. And as much as I hate Duke, I wouldn't mind at all getting Grayson Allen. I'm telling you that right now. Because he's the type of player, when he's not having to be the focal point, even looking at how Duke was with him as the focal point, that dude was putting up numbers, man. He was putting up numbers. So you put him on the team with KP. KP is the main option. Whoever else we get in the first round and you get him, he's going to be the steal of the draft in the second round. That's my prediction.
Grayson. Okay.
Yeah, he got it. You know what I mean? You know anybody that came from Krzyzewski, you're going to know how to play the game the right way, i.e. look at Tatum. You're going to know how to play basketball.
Okay. And, Grayson got a little bit of
got a
nasty side to him, too.
Yeah, and that's what I like. You know what he got in him? Let's be real. You know what he got, Sam?
What's that?
He got a little. You remember how crazy John Starks was?
Uh-huh.
He got a little bit of John
Starks
in him. Yeah.
Got a little John Starks in him. I hear you.
Yeah, but man, we got to ride with Frank, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm excited, and I'm gonna tell you this. I had time to analyze and look at our season, man.
Mm-hmm.
For us who have been privileged to watch the game the last 15, 20 years, even when Jordan and them guys was in, and I'm thinking about the coach. The reason why Frank didn't progress the way he should have is all because of Jeff Hornacek. Hornacek is from that old school mentality with Jerry Sloan. He was not going to let 19-year-old player come in there and start over Jerry Jack, even when it was warranted. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Think about it. All them guys was playing better than Jerry Jack. Even Trey Burke came in and lighting stuff up. He was still playing Jerry Jack. You know why? Because he came from that Jerry Sloan tree. You're going to play the veteran guys. You're going to play the guys who've been in the league longer. And you're going to make these guys have to really make a name for themselves. And that's really what killed Jeff. And if he would have played Frank sooner, these guys who've been killing Frank, they wouldn't have been saying that about Frank. Because Frank definitely took a leap near the end of the season. And if you look at everything that the guy has done, there's nothing in my mind that tells me, hey, this guy is not going to be a great player.
Right. Now, Frank definitely took steps.
Looking at him.
Yeah, Frank definitely took steps during the end of the season, man. Definitely.
He plays the game the right way. You can't teach defense. You can't teach players how to play defense, man.
Right. And
that's a want to.
Yeah. You can't teach guys how to play defense. You can't teach guys some of those little nuances of the game that I'm talking about. Frank, Frank definitely came at the end of the season and started. He got a little bit more comfortable, shooting when it was called upon him to shoot. He admitted that it was a change for him. with thinking with that kind of mentality to be I don't want to say a shoot first guy, but just thinking aggressively that in the NBA guys are a little bit more just selfish and want to show that they're the best, where over in playing European ball, the guys weren't really trying to show that they were the best, right? Guys were a little more like, we're going to do this as a team. That's where it came from. So we had to change the mindset a little bit.
Yeah, and I agree with you, because when you think about it, when we got him, the whole mindset was he was just another piece. KP was the centerpiece. He was going to just be there to facilitate offense. But then when KP got hurt, the wheels had to change. Now we need somebody else to step up and score.
Right.
And that wasn't his game coming in. And I wanted to address something. BN got at me a little bit in the chat. He was telling me, well, not BN, but Ishmael. He asked me about how I feel about Rozier when I said that Rozier was better than Kyrie Irving. Defensively, I'm going to stick with that. He's better.
Oh, yeah.
Offensively, no, he's not better. Not at this point. Because I've seen a lot of lapses in that. But in his defense, for as great as Brad Stevens have been a great coach in these playoffs and throughout the season, tonight he made a fundamental flaw.
Who did?
Rozier just had 28 points the game before.
Uh-huh.
I'm riding with Rozier, especially at home, where the guy has been playing great at. You ride with him. He let that guy sat on the bench too long. And when he brought him back in, I was like, you know what? This is not going to be good for Boston. It's not going to be good. You can't sit somebody on the bench as long as he sat and then thinking he's going to come back in and play.
Yeah.
That was terrible. And Boston, like I said, Boston shot a lot of terrible shots. They took a lot of terrible shots. And Brown, I don't know what happened. He just disappeared. The last 3 games, he was just like on the back of a milk carton.
Yep, that's what happens when you're young, man. That's what happens when you're young. I mean, it takes time for guys to learn how to handle that kind of those situations. Hey, Ronald, man, thank you for the call.
Yeah, man, but you know my phrase, man. Hey, the Knicks is back, man. We got a coach. We gonna ride.
There we go.
Ride. I'm riding with him. Hey, I love KP, and I love what I heard what he had to say. He's riding with our coach. So hey,
all right, man.
KP we trust, and we gonna win, man. We gonna win
for sure, man. All right. All right. Peace, man. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Yep. That's our guy, Ronald Cleveland, y'all. Ronald Cleveland. Yeah. The Knicks, Frank, Frank came on at the end of the season. And nobody can deny that. Frank came on at the end of the season. And I'm expecting him to come back with it next year and understand the game a little bit better at the beginning of the season. My man Emmanuel, what's popping, bro?
Hey, what's good, bro?
How you feeling?
I'm all right. Allergies are getting to me a little bit.
Yeah. Been a minute since I heard you on the line, man.
No, I've been laid back, but I've been watching.
Yeah, I know you've been on. So what's going on with you?
Not much, man. You already know, man. Too bad I don't see BN on here, because I would have got out of crazy.
I seen him. He was on there. I think he's on here. He was on there. I seen him for a second.
Yeah, he don't know that we got the receipts on him.
Right.
Dudes like that, bro. They be trolling. They're not real. They don't watch ball. Talk about Tatum. He's not a scorer. He can't get it on his own.
Yeah.
I told him that about a month ago, and he called me stupid or whatever. But now look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
exactly. He's on there. I just seen he just posted something.
Yeah, I let him talk. Is it past his bedtime though? A little. Because I don't know. There's no scooter ball, so he's lucky.
He's lucky. Yeah. Sound like you got a little cold, man.
Yeah, it's the allergies that get it to me, bro.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, but Frank is good. He's gonna be set. I think I see him putting on muscle. What is this dude that I think his game is gonna be like? I think it's Batum. Big Batum.
Uh-huh.
Batum.
Batum.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like that. He's gonna be a two way, like in between two. He's gonna play 2 and 3 a lot. When he gets older, as his body develops and stuff,
Uh-huh.
because he's so long. He's a long dude. His defense is there. He was already towards the end of the season. He was already starting gaining more confidence, and he was guarding threes. So I think that's gonna be his role. Like he's gonna be like a glue guy. Like what we want Lance Thomas to be.
Right.
I think that's where Frank is gonna end up being.
Okay.
I think because I don't think they're gonna work. If that's if he's not on the ball, you know what I'm saying? If he's not on the ball, if they don't want him on the ball, he's gonna end up playing that 2 or 3 guard position where he's gonna be interchangeable. It's like positionless basketball. He's gonna go wherever he fits. So I
Right.
think that's where they're gonna end up.
Yeah, and you know he'll be able to move back and forth between this and that. I think I think 1 second. I think that Fizdale's style of game is going to be, we don't have to come down and just, you grab the rebound and you gotta find the guard. You know what I'm saying? It'll be if Frank gets the rebound, he can go. Trey Burke gets the rebound, he can go. Hopefully, if our 3-man, he gets the rebound, he can go.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm
And
saying? And you can start your fast break, boom, by just letting guys go. You know what I mean?
and our players aren't the only ones working. I see Fizdale working too.
Right.
He cause since Fizdale got no social media or whatever, I follow his wife, and cause she fine too, so might as well, right? So I was following, and I look and I peep like a little story she posted or whatever. She was with the dogs, and she was playing with their dogs or whatever. And he's off to the side of her on the couch, and he's looking at tape. He's breaking down tape of the season. So I'm like, I'm high on the dude because he's sitting there and we still in playoff mode. We still in this season, and he's already going to work. He's already looking at what to improve upon. So
Right.
the players aren't the only ones working. He's working as well. So I'm hoping that he's able to implement that. And now that he spoke to KP, KP seems happy. But another thing about that KP happiness, I don't know too much about it, cause I feel like it's that one friend that has that fear of missing out, that FOMO. I think it's more one of those things, like I seen everybody with coach at that playoff game, and then I spoke to him the next day, and now I'm hyped. Now like
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
I missed out, so now I feel like yeah, like now it's go time. Like now I really wanna be there.
I
You
want
get
to be
what I'm saying?
part. Right. Right.
Yeah, I want to be a part of it. So I
Yeah.
think it's one of those things. But with him, it does seem like he's an impatient dude. Like he's gonna flip flop, or his mood
Uh-huh.
is like he got that diva in him, and he's impatient. So
Yeah. He,
I'm
he
starting
said
to,
it. He said it. He said he's impatient.
yeah, you could tell. You could tell. Like right now, since things are looking good, he's happy. But then when things it's understandable. You got what I'm saying? Like he's been
Yeah.
through a few coaches or whatever. It's understandable. But then at the same time, I feel like, come on, dude. Like it's not like you've been that guy for that long for you to feel that way,
Right.
or or that you've been that healthy and you've been on the court all that time for you to warrant the way you acting as well. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta earn your stripes as well. It's not like just because you're supposedly the guy now that you're gonna start calling shots.
Yeah.
Especially not in New York. Like you might do that somewhere like in Milwaukee, Utah, where it's a small market town and or whatever. But here in New York, where dudes know their basketball, and we doing things like this on YouTube talking,
Right.
More
Right.
like there's gonna be dudes that are fed up about it too.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was one of those dudes that got fed up of KP talk. Like, come on, like what have you proven? Like, you had a 10-game streak where you was scoring 30, and then when dudes were starting to get under your legs, you were unable to either back them down or shoot over them because they was getting in your airspace,
Yeah.
and you wasn't doing anything after that. It was like they shut you down.
Yeah.
And Hornacek, what Hornacek said, oh, take quick shots. That's one thing about that KP and Cat debate. That's not, if we was to go back to that debate, that's one thing that I'll take over Cat. Cat, he has that diversity in his game where he could change up and he could work inside out or outside in.
Right.
He doesn't have that yet. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Once you take KP's legs from under him, it's pretty much over. Like what offensively, he's not gonna drive. He doesn't have the handles yet to drive past you if you take his if you get under him.
Right.
So
and that's the one thing that scares me about the injury with KP is that it takes away from his development. You know what I'm saying? Because now he can't. You know, he would have had this summer to work on different parts of his game. You know, he'd be able to go back, look at film, and say, okay, I need to work on this. I need to work on here, and here. And I'm sure he went back and looked at film, but he can't go out and actually do it and actually work on those things right now.
I remember. I wonder if they ever worked on his elbow while he's getting his ACL fixed. Remember he had that elbow.
Yeah.
Remember he had that elbow injury.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah, definitely. His elbow was bothering him, right?
Yeah, and remember it balled up. He had that big ass knot on his elbow.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that's another thing that I'm thinking about. So when you bring up trading him, you got to think about all these things that we forget that all these things have happened to him while he was, but that his injury history is like it's type scary to think about. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And then what I was gonna mention about Frank. Another thing. Lastly, I'm gonna just because I've been on for a minute.
Yeah.
Lastly, Frank, right? People forget that Frank. He went from France. He came in from those French playoffs. He didn't play ball, and then he jumped into the season. So he didn't have no real preparation. He was learning as he went on also.
Right.
So he had that leeway of, he had to jump straight into that, getting into the season. He didn't have no purpose. So this year is his first summer league and all that. So I'm excited to see what ends up happening.
Yeah.
I hope with this rookie class, because this is a deep rookie class, I hope that they give him some competition and he puts on his big boy pants and he shows them what he's about. And he bullies his way through it a little bit, but let's hope and see.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, man, I thank you for the call. Always good to hear you, man. Get over them allergies.
All right, thank you.
All right, man. All right, peace.
All right, no doubt.
Peace. Yeah. People worried about Frank, man. We can't worry about Frank. Frank's going to be all right. You know, I seen a lot of haters here in the chat, talk about Frank and talking this and that. Frank will be all right. Right now, he's working. We seen pictures. I'm sure you guys seen this picture. There's Frank there. He looks a little bit bigger. He looks, you see him there. He's working on his handle. Got the gloves on, working on his handle. What the gloves do is it allows the ball to be a little bit slippery. You know what I mean? So if the ball a little bit slippery, you can work on the handle just a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? You can control the ball when it's slippery. Then you can your handle's gonna grow. So there you go. That's Frank working out, and there's other guys, of course, working out. But let me see who I got on the call right now. Can you hear me? You know what I mean? So the ball a little bit slippery. You can work on that handle. Vico, Vico. I got you on the line.
Yeah. Yes, that's me.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Hey, do me a favor. Can you turn that down in the back?
Shout out to the chat. I'm from France, and I live near the city of Strasbourg, the city of Frank.
Okay, you from Strasbourg.
Yes.
All right, that's what's up,
And,
man.
I'm fine.
So, yeah. Can you turn that down in the back a little bit more, though?
Yes, no problem. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and
Okay.
clear. I can hear you loud and clear. So tell me a little bit about so what's it like out there in Strasbourg?
You know, obviously there is no many court like in USA, but there is a few places where there is a lot of player who have a good level, you know, and especially Frank train a lot there in how you say that, a court where everybody goes and train, and that's you know, the street feeling, and the lot of values that he that bring a lot to him, I guess.
Okay.
And yeah, but you can find few places in Strasbourg that we will where we live almost like in USA, and there is a lot of USA culture, and yeah, we live 100% basketball, because we have also a big team where went in Euro Cup a few times, and yeah, that's a good city for basketball, I guess.
Okay. All right.
And I have a few questions.
How long have you been in Strasbourg?
Oh, so, since I have, I think 3 years.
Yeah. And
because I was I wasn't born here. I was born in Africa.
Okay.
And yeah, I went there when I was something like 2 years old.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay. So does that happen frequently? Does that happen frequently where you know, people are born in Africa and then move to Strasbourg or France?
I will say that there is a lot of foreign people there, because you know, there was a wave of migration, especially a person from Africa, North Africa, and you know, the black people from country like Mali, Senegal, and many other countries. And in Strasbourg, you can find a big community of African people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's a pretty multicultural city.
Wow. Okay. You know, I'm really interested in learning a little bit more of that, because, you know, come from the States, honestly, you know, in France, I didn't think there was many black people in France. I mean, that's just the truth. You know, so it's and the more and more I keep seeing guys coming to the NBA, Rudy Gobert, Tony Parker, of course, now Frank Ntilikina, Batum, you know, I'm like, wow, you know, this it surprises me. So, you know, I'm glad to see it, though. You know what I mean? But I know you said you had some questions, man. Go ahead, shoot.
Yeah. I want to share with the chat some information about Frank also, because here with you know, the dailies paper here, I'm not sure that you have all the information. And when he went here in France, he also have training with an institution called INSEP. So
INSEP.
yes, and the best athletes from France have training there for many competition like the Geo, the World Championships, and all this stuff. And he trained a lot there before he come to the US. So
Okay.
I mean, I think that he have a great he has a great work ethic, and that's something pretty respectful, and yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So how long did he train there? I mean, did he train there every day? I mean, I'm
Mhm.
sure you guys probably had a little bit more information than we did while he was over there.
Uh, I'm not sure. I don't want to say anything wrong, but I know that he trained there, and I won't be surprised if he trains for something like 2 weeks, because he had I think 5 weeks of vacation here. So just before he returned to USA, I know that he trained in this institution. So,
Okay.
but I don't, I can't say how many times precisely.
Okay. Good. So he must have been working on his body there, because pictures that came
Yes,
back
yes.
here, he was
Mm.
he was a lot bigger. So I
Yes,
know. Did
that's
you
why
have? Yeah. So did you have a question?
yes. Last question. I have an idea, and I want to know what you think about that.
Okay.
Um, I see some information about Ante Zizic, the center of Cleveland,
Uh-huh.
and I see that he's pretty young. He's like 22 years old,
Yeah.
and I mean, I see something about him that really interests me, because that's a center that can get rebound. He can bring some points, and each time that he play for Cleveland for at least 15 minutes, when I see his stat line, I mean, I really see a stat line that show that he can produce,
Yeah.
and he's still very young, and I don't know why he Tyronn Lue don't use him, because I really think that he can bring something, and for me, he can produce the same stat line as Enes Kanter,
Okay.
and I will do a trade for him if it's possible, and yeah, and he's really very young, so he can develop more
Yeah, I know.
and
I
be
think I know the
really
guy that
something
you.
special.
Yeah, I think I know the guy you're talking about. Now, the thing about that is, I'm sure Cleveland, because they're a little older, they probably want to keep as many young people as they want. If they
Mm-hmm.
have people who are if they have guys that look like they could do something in the future, they probably want to keep as many young people as they want around, I think.
And that's true.
Yeah. And so I think if it was available, um, hey, you never know. It's possible. Hey, what's your
Because
name? What's your name again?
uh,
Vigo.
yes, but that's my that's my pseudonym, so that I use.
Ah, okay.
My real
Well,
name is Anan.
what is that?
Anan.
None? Okay. Hey, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. And I want you to call it. Call it.
Yes.
Nah, I was saying call again, man, because I know there's some people in the chat that had some questions about some players like Killian Hayes and some other people. So maybe you can call in again, and then we can we can talk again about some other guys from France that you know.
Because before I had some issues with my Skype, so I couldn't call, but that now it's fixed.
It's working.
So
okay.
I can,
All right, sounds good, man. Hey, I appreciate the call.
With my English, I struggle a little bit.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. I appreciate the call, man. Hey, you look like Frank a little bit too. Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate the call.
Some people say that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Knicks are training. Hey, man, you guys in the chat, man, y'all got to cool out a little bit, man. Y'all got to let some people talk sometime. You guys be in a rush to move on. This is what they say about New Yorkers, right? We too much in a rush. They always say that we too much in a rush. That's why we can't rebuild because we don't have no patience. Sometimes we got to be patient. You know what I mean? Sometimes we gotta be patient. That's why listen. I go around to a lot of states, and people in other states they don't like New York at all. You know what I'm saying? Because they say we think we control everything, and we think we top dogs in every place, and all that. You know what I mean? For real. Hey, Mark, what's poppin', bro? You here? Mark, you gotta get your shit fixed, man. You always calling in, it's not working. But anyway, like I said, Knicks players are working out. They're working out. They're training. Tim Hardaway's training. Bring this over here real quick. Tim Hardaway, he's out there getting his thing in. Down in Miami. Tim Hardaway is down in Miami training. You see Tim Hardaway there getting this thing in a little bit. Tim Hardaway really looked fit last year. He still looks fit. Looks like he's in shape. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he's putting in work. You know what I mean? I like to see him work on, he's working on that pull-up jump shot. I like to see Tim Hardaway, just work on a few
you hear me?
I like to see Tim Hardaway work on a few, just a few moves besides just the pull-up jump shot, because I think, he has some of those, he can do it. He has the body to do it.
Tim, you hear me?
You know what I'm saying? I can hear you, Mark. Hold on. He has the body to do it. You know what I mean? I just like to see him be able to do it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Tim Hardaway is out there getting his work in. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. I'd really be interested to see what Scott Perry, what he, what was his off-season developmental plan. You know what I mean? But he looks fit, looks in shape. Glad to see him getting his work in. You know what I'm saying? And
Hardaway needs to work on that defense.
That's true. Tim Hardaway needs to work on that defense.
And Cantor dyed his hair white. His time, he needs to go.
Yeah. Cantor's starting to trip a little bit, right?
Yeah, he's tripping out now. He needs to go.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. What is he doing?
He's gonna come in. He's gonna play like crap. He gotta go. Should have never colored his hair white.
Cantor. I'm not. Cantor's getting on my nerves a little bit with all the little antics and all the stuff he's doing.
He done got me mad.
Yeah, he's getting on my nerves a little bit with all the little things he's doing all over the place. You know what I mean?
Shit, when you do extra things like that, I'm afraid. So we don't have time to waste with stuff like that.
True. Very
Come in
true.
and play normal.
Very
we
true.
Need normal people, please.
Right. Exactly. Just come in and ball. Don't do all this stuff to bring attention to yourself. That's all I feel like he's doing.
Yeah.
Want to bring attention to himself.
Oh, yo, Simeon, let me tell you something,
So
man.
what's poppin', man?
The amount of stress I'm going through.
I can hear it.
What I just watched tonight, that was like, yo, Celtics. Yo, honestly, if anybody's LeBron James fans, could y'all stop with this? Is like the greatest thing he. Yo, boy is not playing against no heavy hitters, bro. He's playing against role players, and Celtics show what they are.
Yeah.
Stop with this LeBron and he willed his team. He's playing against role players, man.
That is true. That is true. I'm with you. I'm with you on it. I'm with you on it.
Turn off my TV because yo, these analysts are killing me with this. It's stressing me.
I can hear it. I can hear it. I can hear it.
Yo, my TV was gonna catch a case, man, because that was like the worst set of basketball I've seen in years by the Celtics. They took the most. I don't want the NBA got to stop this tit for tat call for LeBron because Jesus, he gets. You know what? Forget it because it's gonna make me even more mad. What's going on tonight, Chad? What we talking about tonight with the Knicks? What we doing tonight? Because
you know, not a whole lot of news, man. So we just been kind of, you know, just we just been talking really. Not a whole lot of news on the Knicks front. We're gonna talk about Wendell Carter Jr. in a minute.
Oh yeah, I'm telling y'all, it's something about it. He's much of a sleeper. He looked like his upside look. A lot of people think that he don't have an upside, but I think he got an upside to him. And he plays the game smart. If you watched him in Duke, I like him. I like him a lot. I wouldn't mind if he fell to us, but you know, I wouldn't mind.
So you think that he's going to get drafted before 9? So Wendell Carter,
he's going to get drafted because his stats, like if he played a full what is it, 32 minutes in college, he'd average easily 20 and 10. He averaged 13 and I think 11 in like 20 something minutes. His stats his advanced stats is crazy. And then he protects the rim. He's bigger than what people. He's huge. He's very huge.
Yeah, 6'10", 250 pounds.
He can step out. He's a great jump shooter. He can step out, but he can also protect the rim. And the fact that Kanter could be going next year and we're gonna fill a void for the center, I wouldn't mind him and then go after wings in you know, Knicks find a way to get buy picks and second round picks and stuff like that and go
now NBA draft.net, they rank his defense at a 7, his quickness at a 6.
He's very, like, you know what he is?
But he is a freshman.
You ever watch if you ever watch Duke, right? What Duke does to their like star players, they kind of like hide their game. They kind of hide their game, and then when they get to the league, they become something greater than what they are. It's because of like Duke's offense why players don't really they don't look like stars, or they could be stars. It will take a while for them to look like stars. It's their offense that they run why they don't appeal to the eye.
Right.
But the last few years, look at all Duke stars besides Jahlil Okafor, which Philly ruined his career, I believe. Philly ruined his career. Look at all the Duke players. Look at all the Duke wings. Look at all the Duke's forwards. They're either solid or they become stars. Look at Tatum. I told my man's like the beginning, I said I'd have took him 1 before anybody in his draft, because when you watch him, he could score on 3 levels in the NBA. And look at him now. Well,
you know, that's why for sure. That's why Boston made the trade with Philly. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they jerked them.
They knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Jerked them hard. Yo, Chad, don't bring up Al Horford because that's a waste of $30 million. He's so soft, man. He is so soft. Oh my God.
So, you know, we're looking at some clips of Wendell Carter now. He's definitely long. And look, you know, he's a freshman, but he's gonna grow into his body some more.
But you gotta think about it.
He's gonna grow into his body.
He's a freshman, right?
Yep.
And just look at his numbers. If you look at his numbers, But you have to watch how he plays the game. He's very just look at him. He's an athlete. He might not look it, but he's an athlete.
And he was I believe it was Wendell Carter. His people wanted him to go to Harvard, right?
Yeah, because his people wanted to go to Harvard just because it's Harvard.
Because it's Harvard. Yeah,
it's Harvard. Any parent would want their child to go to Harvard just to brag about their children went to Harvard, because it's one of the hardest schools to get into.
The fact that he's able to go to Harvard.
Yeah, he's a very high IQ player. Just look how huge he is. Mm-hmm. Look at it. Just look how he steps out. Look. Look at his rotation.
And I think there's some people in the Knicks camp that are excited about like Wendell Carter Jr.
He just don't come off your screen as a star. He just don't look it. But if he had a little bit of like flashiness, he'd probably be a top pick, because he has all the tools. If you watch him, but Tatum was just the best player. Bagley was just the best player on the
player on the squad.
He jumps off the screen. He jumps off your screen.
Right.
But it's like one of these things. It's like Wendell Carter could possibly be the better player than Marvin Bagley, even though Marvin Bagley looked better than him. But Wendell Carter, as an NBA player, knowing the game and how he plays, he's a steal. I'm surprised he's not even top 5, because I don't even think Mo Bamba's better than him.
Wow.
I don't even think Mo Bamba's better than him, because Mo Bamba can't score. He don't have no offensive skill the way Wendell Carter does.
That's true.
It's just because he doesn't jump off your screen. He doesn't. Duke players don't jump off your screen at all. The only person that jumps off, the only spectacular person that you knew was going to be was Kyrie Irving. Grant Hill, even though Grant Hill was polished, he was very polished, but he didn't jump off your screen. It was Kyrie Irving was that flashy play that jumps off your screen. That's the only play Duke had that jumps off your screen. But I think Wendell Carter, if he falls us at that center spot, y'all don't understand. And then he got time to grow, and just look at his body now. Look at his body now.
But now, a lot of mock drafts have him.
He might go to the Bulls. They have him going to the Bulls.
I think he could be anywhere in between. I think he could be, it's possible he could be there at 9.
Yeah, they have him at like 7 and 10.
Between 7 and 10. Between 7 and 10. It's possible.
But when you watch him in Duke, I think he should have been a top 5 pick. I swear. He's like one of them players. He's in the right spots. He know how to pick him. He just does everything smart, and it's like somebody you can trust. Like,
right. Well. See, that's what we were talking about earlier. I don't know if you were in the chat, but we were talking about, when we're looking for players. Yeah, we want to find guys that have talent and athletic ability, but we also want those guys that understand the small nuances of the game. Yeah. Especially if you're a freshman and you understand just the little small things to do.
It's like, even though I think Al Horford is super rated, look at Al Horford just as a talent, not from tonight what you watch by him. He's in the right spots. He makes the right passes. He makes the right plays.
Right.
You want players like that because they're very pivotal when it comes to tough games. Besides what I saw tonight,
right?
The basketball guys really pissing me off, man. Oh my god, they was not supposed to win that. And you know what's so funny? It's like LeBron James, if he'd have lost tonight, he had no help. What about Tatum? He had no help tonight.
Yeah.
Tatum was his best player. He had no help. Terry Rozier, his stock plummet. He's not getting paid. Marcus Smart not getting paid. I'm telling you, all these players that think they're getting paid, they ain't getting paid. They ain't getting paid.
Yeah.
And now Celtics got to steal because they're going to keep Marcus Smart because they're going to pay him at their rate now.
Marcus Smart is a keeper though, man. Marcus Smart is a keeper.
No. He's a keeper. But
he is a keeper.
They died by him tonight.
Yeah.
Badly, bro. Badly. And what makes me cringe the most? This was the perfect opportunity for Kyrie tonight. The stage was set up for Kyrie to be in this game to chop them up.
Yeah.
No one else could attack the paint. No one else could have made plays. No one. And Kyrie would have danced on this Cleveland defense.
Yeah.
They allowed the. Yo, listen, man. If Al Horford had Tristan Thompson shutting him down like that, come on, son.
Son. I wish Kyrie was there tonight. It was
the perfect. It was the perfect setup for him. I'm like, if when they went up, you see, when they went up like 12, and all he had to keep doing was just keep. And you know the thing was, fucking LeBron James. He mucked the game and slowed it down. Every time I'm yelling on my TV, Celtics push the damn ball because he's tired. He was tired the whole game. If y'all don't, when y'all play LeBron James, you have to push the ball.
Yeah.
You have to make him move. They had him standing on defense, letting him play linebacker. You cannot allow that man to do that.
Okay.
You can't. And it's like every year these players just, I won't say they freeze up in front of LeBron, but it's like, it's kind of like they freeze up in front of LeBron. And it's like, you can attack LeBron's heart because what's so funny, in the beginning of the game, you could tell he was kind of checked out the first half because he was just chucking up shots. And it was the perfect opportunity to just ram it. But no. But you know what?
That's a young team for you, though, man. That's a young team.
Golden State gonna win tomorrow, and then he's gonna keep the Golden State gonna just clean his clocks, and then he's gonna lose 6 straight finals. And then I just want to hear everybody say he's the greatest of all time because I don't understand you, LeBron James apologists. How can someone be so great when he's going against no heavy hitters? None.
I hear you.
Victor Oladipo just became a star this year. The Toronto Raptors. I wish they burn burn Canada, burn that team, please. Burn that team.
I hear you, man. I'm not a LeBron James fan either. A lot of people, all over LeBron James about this and that and the other thing, man. I'm not a LeBron James fan at all.
You know what's so funny? I'm in my TV. I said I wish I was a reporter because I would have asked him because LeBron James in his speech, even though through all the trades, people was doubting my players. I said, so why did you get the other players traded? Why you get them traded? People don't ask LeBron James these questions.
Right.
They don't.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Hey, Mark, man. I'm gonna let you go, man. Appreciate the call.
Pissed off. Now I gotta watch ESPN full of LeBron James.
Yeah, right. I know. NBA Finals too. All right, man.
Achievement and award.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Yeah. Celtics had a chance, man. But it wasn't to be. It's all good. Wasn't to be. But yeah, it sounds like the Knicks are interested in Wendell Carter Jr. And it might not be a bad pickup. Especially if you're looking at the possibility of Cantor not being here. I mean, listen, at some point Cantor's not going to be here anyway, I think. Even if he opts in, when we get to 2019, he's going to be an unrestricted free agent, and I don't think that they're going to re-sign him. That's just my opinion. Unless he significantly improves on defense over the summer. If he comes back and he's expanded his game, maybe out to the 3-point line, he's improved on defense. Listen, some of the reasons that Marc Gasol had some issues with Fizdale is because Fizdale wanted him to extend his game to the 3-point line. And as a matter of fact, Marc Gasol shot more threes under Fizdale than he had in the past. And Fizdale wanted to play a quicker, faster type of game. Cantor, I feel like it's kind of in that same situation, which is maybe a reason that he's actually considering opting out, because he might know that his game is not going to be, he's not going to have as much value, possibly not have as much value right now. You know what I mean? Because of the type of game that he plays. He's a traditional back to the basket center. So with the possibility of Cantor being gone this summer and probably for sure next summer, and then what's going on with Kyle Quinn, maybe you do bring in a guy like Wendell Carter. You know what I mean? Tony Crow, what's popping, bro?
What's going on? Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is Time. Wendell Carter is solid. He's definitely solid. He'll come in and contribute immediately. But it's similar to what I was saying with KP and Karl Anthony Towns, where Bagley has that ceiling that Carter doesn't, but Carter's floor is, solidified. But Bagley could be a bust, basically. He still has he has a higher ceiling and a higher bust risk. Where Carter's gonna be solid for a long time.
Okay.
He may not be a superstar, but he definitely is gonna be a solid role player.
Right.
Immediately and for years to come. So I ain't mad at that.
Yeah. And you don't always have to have just superstars, man. You need those guys that fill in those little holes and play those little roles. You need them. You need them guys too.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I misread it, but I read somewhere that he's 6'8" without shoes and 6'10" with shoes.
I'm not sure, but we can always check.
What kind of shoes are those?
We can always check the combine, see what his numbers are. Oh, you said 6'8", what?
Without shoes and 6'10" with shoes.
With shoes, yeah. We can always check the combine and see what his numbers is. See what his numbers are.
Kind of bugged out.
On NBADraft.net it says that he's 6'10".
I know he got like a 7'4" wingspan, right?
Yeah, like 7'3", 7'4" wingspan. So he's got long arms.
Yeah.
Yep, he's long. Which gives him the ability to play guys that are a little bit taller than him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Guys that are 7 foot, 7'1", gives him that ability. And you never know, he's 19. He could grow.
Yeah, he definitely could play the stretch 5 role. I don't know about a full-time 5 spot. Down the line, probably for sure, because he is a solid dude. You know what I mean? Like he probably was already in the weight room. Like he was already a strong dude.
Yeah.
And played down low and outside.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I like him. I wouldn't be mad. But you know who my guy is, man. I'm riding with Knox.
Riding with Knox.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I think I'm even going with him if Macau's on the board.
Well, even if Macau's on the board, okay. See, I mean, I don't mind Wendell Carter Jr. I know that there are people in the organization that are high on Wendell Carter Jr. I just want to have a forward. I mean, a wing. I don't care if he's the same height as like Michael Porter, the same height as Wendell Carter Jr. But I want a wing guy that's going to be able to, advance the ball, do wing things. You know what I'm saying? I want to have a wing guy.
Another thing in Carter's defense or whatever, his basketball IQ is through the roof, and that you can't take that lightly at all. You know what I mean? Like that's another reason why his career is going to be like solidify a solid player. Like,
right?
Because he could rely on his IQ. Where, you know what I mean, that'll keep him in games, that'll get him playing time, you know what I mean, things like that, where other players is like their liability because they may not even make the right decision.
Right, and that's the one thing about, I think that's going to be the thing about all the players that the Knicks look to draft, and that includes Mikal Bridges. Why I think they may be so high on Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, his IQ's through the roof too.
Because he has, a good basketball IQ, comes from a winning program, all those kind of things it are reasons that I think Mikal Bridges could be the pick.
The sad thing is that might be one of those things you question with Knox, his basketball IQ.
Yeah.
But
you find that a lot with guys that have all this talent and athletic ability. Sometimes their basketball IQ, because they've always been able to get over with talent, and so their basketball IQ, they don't need to think as much because they can use their talent. You know what I'm saying? And you find that with guys that have a lot of talent sometimes. You know, and then the guys that have the IQ and the talent, those guys are the ones that become the superstars.
Yep. He's another Kawhi's another one. his IQ, I think, is what brought him to the superstar level.
Right.
I want to touch up on a comment, or I want to make a comment on the people who are bashing Frank still. And you got, like I keep saying, you got to remember the point guard is the hardest position to learn in the NBA.
Right.
And then you got to throw in the fact that he's coming from overseas, where that's another learning curve.
Right.
You look at a kid like Rubio who's been bashed probably how many years he's been in the league? 4 years, whatever. He's been bashed the whole time. Like, he's not who everybody thought he was. He's not. And then you look at what he did this year in the playoffs. Like, that was his coming out party.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It takes time for these point guards to learn the NBA game.
That's true. That's true. And yeah, like you just said, Ricky Rubio, you know, people have, you know, kind of gotten on him because he wasn't what they thought he was going to be, and all these type of things. But yeah, it takes time. It takes time. It's a talented league, man. I mean, it's the best of the best. You know what I mean? It's a talented league.
And if you look at Rubio, what kept him in the league was his defense, like, which was like probably the most underrated, or like that's what nobody really spoke about because he couldn't hit a shot. That's what everybody spoke about. His passing is phenomenal.
Right.
His turnovers have always been low. Like, he's a good comparison to look at Frank, and I think his learning curve is going to be a lot faster. Frank's already a better shooter, or off the jump. They're both pass first kind of guys. Frank's defense already is heralded, where Rubio had to, like, people had to figure that out, that he does play good defense.
Right.
You know, so I think Frank, if not this year, I think he's going to make a huge jump this year. But I think this coming year, but I think the following year, we really going to see, you know, who he is. And one more thing with Frank, his playing time. He didn't play in the beginning of the year, the first, quarter of the year. You look at a guy like Donovan Mitchell or mostly every other rookie. They came in with a role immediately, if not a starter right off the bench. Consistent playing time. Those also factor in.
Yeah.
To your development.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So yeah, people gotta give Frank a chance.
Got to give him a chance. I mean, he's coming in. When he comes in this year, he's going to be the age that a lot of guys were when they came in as a rookie last year. He's going to be younger than a lot of rookies that come into the league this year. You know, So Frank's going to be good. Frank's going to be good. Hey, Tony, man, appreciate the call.
No doubt. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black, it's time. Son Q doing your thing.
All right, man.
Catch you next time.
Peace, man.
Finals, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when do the finals start? Finals start. I don't even know when the finals start. I'll probably be on before the finals start. You know what I mean? But let's move on to the NBA finals anyway. Well, not the finals yet, but Golden State. The Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets play tomorrow night. Another Game 7 to see who goes to the NBA Finals. I'm not sure if Chris Paul is playing right now or not. If Chris Paul is playing, I mean, I picked Houston. I picked Cleveland and Houston to be in the NBA Finals. You know what I mean? I'm a little skeptical about my choice right now because of, you know, Chris Paul maybe not playing. If Chris Paul doesn't play, I don't see there's a way that Houston wins. You know, Ron Martinez, what's poppin', man?
What's up, Simon? Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, I gotta hear it again now from all these LeBron fans for probably like another month.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to get them out of here.
Oh my God, I was like, these guys couldn't get a bucket to save their life.
Right.
They struggle big time.
Yeah, I was hoping this was the year. I was like, yeah, this is the year. LeBron is finally not going to make it to the finals.
Right.
I was really hoping. And then, of course, from Kyrie and whoever went down, I was.
Oh my God! Can it get any easier? I'm like, damn! It's like the last call, the basketball gods. The stars line up for this dude almost every time, dude.
Every time, man. And then,
don't get me wrong. I know he's talented, but he gets some lucky breaks. I gotta swear, man. I haven't seen a guy have so much luck because they say when you're winning. You know, you need talent and you need a little bit of luck. And man, this guy always gets some breaks. I'm like, damn.
Always. Man. And I mean, I knew at the end of the last game when Cleveland won, I felt like Boston needed to be able to ride the wave and win in 6. Because I knew in a game 7, they weren't going to be able to beat LeBron in the game 7. I just felt it. They weren't going to be able to do it in the game 7. The stage is just kind of big for guys that young.
Yeah, they're a young team, but I'm pretty sure if he decides to stay, I don't see why he would want to go. I mean, the only logical place for him to go to, I would say, if he wants to go to Houston. But why would go to the West when you have the East? But it's getting harder every year because Indiana took him 7 games. Yeah, Boston is getting. The teams are coming. Indiana's coming, Boston is coming, Philly is coming.
Right.
Who knows when the hell we're coming? But hopefully the next, we'll be coming. We'll get there soon.
Yeah. But look, you got a couple people in the chat. Man, Kareem said, what lucky breaks? Talking about LeBron.
Oh, I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from LeBron. I mean, he is the best player in the league. No one's taking that away from him.
Yeah, by far.
But he's had some breaks. So, let's if we don't have enough time, but we can have one of these shows. We can go over the history over the years. I mean, of course, he's in the East has been terrible for the longest, but it's getting better. A lot of young teams coming up now. So, but you know how it is. A lot of people prisoner in the moment. They're gonna say now, he's already better than Kareem, better than Jordan. So it is what it is. I know you say you're not a LeBron fan. Well, I respect his game. I'm just not a LeBron. I don't wave pom-poms for LeBron, but I respect his game. But I don't think I ever got to hear the reason why you don't like LeBron.
Look, I respect that he's the best player in the NBA.
Right.
Without a doubt. I mean, no matter what, you just can't go against it, right? He's the best player in the NBA. I like the things that he does. I like the things that he does in the community for the kids in the community, Boys and Girls Club, Akron, Ohio, all that stuff that he does. It's just something about his personality that rubs me the wrong way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they're speaking in the third person. It's just something about his personality that just rubs me the wrong way that makes me not like him as a basketball player personality. Right? I never met the guy in person, so I can't say if I would like him in person or not. But as a basketball playing personality, I don't like him.
Do you think for a superstar he's thin-skinned?
Yes, I think he is. Very thin-skinned for a superstar. I think he is.
I think he's sensitive.
I think he's sensitive. He's gotten better. I think he's gotten a little bit better. But I think he's sensitive. I feel like stories that I heard from back in the day when he was on the USA team and just stories that I heard about some things he was doing there. And I think some people had to kind of put him in check with the way he was treating people. Just stuff like that. Or like the time when I don't know, when he was in Miami, and some fan had some kind of comment to say or whatever it was, and when he did the interview, he was like, you're gonna go back to your life and whatever it was, kind of insinuating that your life is not good because you don't have my life. Things like that just kind of rub me the wrong way.
Yeah. I remember that. It said, "Oh yeah, that when he lost, he goes, that's all right, because I'm gonna have, I'm still gonna have like a better life than you." So like he can't. I remember that. I remember that time when they had lost.
Yeah, when they lost. Yeah, so like things like that just kind of rub me the wrong way with him.
You know something I picked up, and I don't know if you picked up on this, Simeon. Maybe it's me. Do you know? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it me, or is it when certain players like LeBron, when they lose, when they come to the podium, they got the hat real low. They don't want to see no one to see their eyes. Mm-hmm. And then when they win, they come back and they have a fashion show. They got the hats to the back.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, dude? It's like, what is it? You don't want to look at people looking in the eyes or whatever it is. But I'm like, but every player is different. Some people are good with the media, other players are not. So every player is different, and you can tell that that started even when he was in Miami. Because when you go to a big market like Miami, New York, the questions that come your way, they're gonna be tough.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna be tough.
And you know how the media is when you start talking down to the media, like you're smarter than them, you know more about basketball than them. It's like, well, listen, the reporters got to do a job, but when you come at the media, they're gonna come right back at you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think he's gotten better, but he just kind of rubbed me the wrong way back then, and it stuck with me, and so I've never been a fan.
And you know one thing I never understood about LeBron? They keep talking about, it gets me frustrated. Like the same thing with Kobe. I had the same situation with Kobe where he would say him and LeBron, like they would ask him, "Who's your favorite player growing up?" And neither one of them would say Michael. Or when he was young, he used to say Michael Jordan. But then he got older, came to the NBA, he started saying Magic Johnson. Yeah. It's like, but then they'll say, "Oh, he's not chasing the ghost." Then change your jersey. Why you wearing number 23? Right. If you're not chasing the ghost, then change your number. Why you got 23 for?
Right.
But he grew up a Bulls fan when he was a kid.
Yeah, I know he did.
And then Kobe, they used to ask him, "Who's your favorite player growing up?" He would say Magic Johnson, but Kobe plays like MJ.
He played just like Michael Jordan. Everything,
right? Almost all his moves identical. It's driving me crazy. But I was gonna ask you, when you guys were going over the draft, did you guys go over this guy's brother, the Greek Freak's younger brother, Kostas?
Yeah, we looked at him a little bit in the combine.
Right.
Talked about him a little bit, and he didn't play too well in the combine, but his his athleticism though. I mean, I think he's gonna go in the second round.
Right.
I think he'll be drafted in the second round and
be another project.
Be a project, yeah.
Well, if he gets anything close to the Greek Freak, that's a serious. That'll be a serious.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Even if it's like 70 or 80%, because the Greek Freak is coming.
Yeah, for real.
That boy is coming. But I was gonna ask you, is it true that KP last year? I heard there was a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not that they were talking to trading him to Phoenix last year.
I've seen some things around. I'm not exactly sure. I've seen some things, just some articles about it, that there was going to be a trade, that there was a proposed trade.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, that there was a proposed trade last year. I don't know.
Because I bet you there'll be some Knicks fans right now, especially the ones on the chat, that would jump off the roof if KP was healthy this year and they traded him to the number one pick, the Phoenix. They'll be like, what the hell?
Yeah, right.
Imagine that.
Right.
Scott Perry be like, listen, we're hitting the reset button. KP's going to the West Coast. We're getting the number one pick, and we keep the 9th pick. It's like, but that would be crazy if they did something like that. But, but of course it's not going to happen because KP, went back from injury.
Right. And Emmanuel C brought up a good, good point about his elbow. Hopefully he's getting that elbow work done while he's,
that conditioning
while he's recovering. You know what I mean? Because you remember he had a big bubble on his elbow last year.
Remember that thing? It looked like a golf ball.
Yeah, right. Hopefully he's getting that taken care of at the same time.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame, man. Too bad we never got to see Kobe play LeBron in the finals, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, I know.
That would have been something. We never got to see that.
That would have been something. Yeah.
And of course, I mean, I think one time, I don't know who was it. Was it LeBron? I can't remember. Right before Kobe got hurt, I don't know what's the closest they ever got to that point. But that would have been probably would have been a classic.
It would have. Yeah, that would have been classic because Kobe would have took it personal.
Oh yeah.
He would have took that personal. Yeah.
And Kobe, if his team ain't doing it, he ain't passing. He'll take 50 shots.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
He's not worried about making the right play. He's like, listen, get out the way. I got
this. Exactly. For real.
Hey, you was talking about the other day about free agents. Brook Lopez, would you take him if he was as a center to give KP some protection, or you think that he's too slow-footed?
Yeah, I think he's too slow-footed.
Okay.
I think a few years back I might have taken him, but I just think he's too slow-footed with the way that I think Fizdale wants to play.
He wants to play that up and down.
And down, yeah. I don't think he'll be able to do it.
Yeah, the only thing I was thinking about that is because I'm thinking when KP comes back, hopefully he puts on some weight. Because if he doesn't, I'm thinking we need to get at least eventually somebody down there that can give KP some protection. You know what I'm saying? If he's not gonna play somebody with some muscle, like a younger version of David West. I would have loved David West when he's young. Back in the day. I know David West is, he's getting older, but I always wish we had to play like Dave West.
He was a bruiser back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a throwback. Now he's a bench player. So.
Yeah, but I think that's why some people like Wendell Carter Jr. thinking that maybe he could be that in the future and be able to take the ball out to the 3-point line.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't, maybe. Hey, Ron, appreciate the call, man.
I'll let you go. One thing before I let you go, I got on before I called you, I heard something crazy on YouTube that Brad Stevens got only one vote for Coach of the Year.
Did he?
That's what I heard. That's crazy. I was like, he did? I'm like, yeah, I thought he got crazy. More than
that. Now, unless they don't, maybe they don't include the playoffs for the vote for Coach of the Year.
But the fact to work with what he had, I mean, he lost two big players.
Yeah, right.
Man. And his team gets better every year since he's been there.
Yeah, I know, man. And I mean, what he did in the playoffs though is crazy.
I don't know if that's politics, but hey, brother, I'll let you go. And one of these days, when my money's right, I'll send you a super chat. When my money's not funny anymore, I'll hit you with a super chat.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Even if you don't, man, I just appreciate you coming on and logging in and calling.
All right, brother.
All right, bro.
Okay.
All right, peace
Take
out.
Care.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Yeah, just to backtrack a little bit, I did see this stuff about, KP almost traded to Phoenix last year. And yeah, I only reason why I didn't really jump on it and make it a big, story or not a big story, but headline it or anything like that is, I just kind of felt like it was last year. What are we gonna do with it now? But he did. I guess the reports came out that it was possible or it was something that was on the table, and then Phoenix kind of balked at it. Right, so this is something that came out from the WFAN report. Knicks almost traded Kristaps Porzingis to Phoenix last season. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, the Phoenix Suns had an opportunity to put a trade package together that would have resulted in Kristaps Porzingis being sent to the Suns. Last year, I thought Phoenix had a chance to get Porzingis if they were really willing to put the fourth pick in, which would have been Josh Jackson. Luckily for New York, the Suns balked on including the fourth overall pick in last year's draft, which led to the talks breaking down. Woj added that Porzingis was not too excited about the prospect of playing in Phoenix and what his future would have been there. Despite the Suns having several talented players on its roster, any trade package that would have dealt Porzingis to Phoenix, especially one that did not include Devin Booker being sent to New York, would have caused an uproar among the team's fan base. So I mean, there it is. I mean, I guess it was possible that, it was out there, last year. But I think all that's going to be squashed. All that's done. I think it is, we'll see what's going to happen with KP and the crew now. But, I think all of that trade stuff with KP is probably over with unless something amazing comes about like Cat. But I'm not going to go there anyway. I want to give a shout out to Monty Knicks for the super chat. You said you wanted to ask a question to the guy that called in from France. I apologize, but I'll make sure next time he's on, I'll make sure you get your question in. All right. And then Philip Reed, you said you want to see, thank you for the super chat. You said, I want to see Tim with better D. I knew he could score. I'm with you 100%. I want to see that man working on defense. We never see these guys work on defense. They're always working on their offensive moves. But we never see them just putting in work on the defensive end. I'd like to see Tim Hardaway continue to put in work. He made improvements last year defensively. I'd like to see him continue to put in work. Okay. But, listen, Golden State Warriors, Houston Rockets tomorrow night. I may even jump on a little bit tomorrow night just to talk about the NBA Finals a little bit. And if I do, it'll be for like 20 to 30 minutes. It won't be a long show. This almost a 2-hour show. It won't be that long of a show. It'll be just for a couple of minutes just to say what's up to y'all. I'm not sure yet. Depends. It's, depends on what's going on. But I might just jump in and do something real quick. And also to give you the schedule of when I'll be on, because the finals may be far apart. You know how the finals do. They might be far apart. We'll see what that looks like. And, I plan on having a regular schedule after the finals anyway of a specific time that I'm going to be on throughout the week so that you guys know. And I have it posted on my website and those type of things. Have it posted on the channels page and that stuff right there. You know what I'm saying? Raw Hebrew, thank you. Said nice show. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Hopefully we can continue to have good shows. I know sometimes I let people talk a little bit longer than maybe I should, but the thing is, this is a show for Knicks fans to be able to get it out and talk. So when people call in, I like to give them a chance to say this, say their word. I don't, talk a little bit. It makes the show more interesting to me, brings people up. So, it's all good. It's all good, you know what I mean? But if I'm on, it's a if, so I'm not promising anything. But if I'm on tomorrow night, I'll highlight you guys tomorrow night. If not, then I'll be on tonight's. This is Sunday. Monday, I'll be on Tuesday night for sure. If I'm not on tomorrow night, all right. But I'm out. I'm out right now. I'm done. I'm gone. Any Nick news happen, then I'll definitely be. Emmanuel, you hit me with a crazy question just when I'm getting off. Marketing or KP? Whew, you know what? I really do like Marketing. I'm not going to lie to you. I like what I seen from him last year. I'm not ready to say that he's KP right now, but that kid could very well be KP and more when I look at his body, because his body is solid as a rock. You know what I mean? But man, that's a good question. Marketing, I like him a lot. He can shoot. I like him a lot. You know what I mean? I like him a whole lot. But hey, I'm rolling out, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are cooking out tomorrow. Enjoy your Memorial Day. Cooking out, going to the beach, whatever you're doing. Enjoy it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the Golden State and Houston game tomorrow. You know what? My prediction is going to be based on Chris Paul. I think if Chris Paul is there, then it depends on, is he truly healthy? Will his hamstring hold up? My prediction was that Houston was going to win. I'm sticking with what I said. I said Houston. I'm going to stick with Houston. Although, if he's not there, I don't think they have a chance. You know what I mean? But I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'll see you guys for a couple minutes after the game tomorrow night. I'm out. I hope you guys have a blessed Memorial Day. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. And I'm going to talk to y'all later. Peace. If you enjoyed this live stream, please hit the subscribe button below. Ring the bell. Get a notification anytime that I go live. We'll be talking about the New York Knicks all summer, following all off-season moves. From the pre-draft workouts to the draft to free agency, summer league, all of it, everything. I'm out. Peace.